Warren Buffett, often called the Oracle of Omaha, is one of the most successful investors of the 20th and 21st centuries. But what many people overlook is that his wisdom is not just about stocks and money. His success rules apply broadly to business, career, and life. In this presentation, we'll explore 10 of Buffett's most powerful principles, distilled from decades of letters, interviews, and speeches. These rules reveal how he thinks, how he acts, and how you can apply them whether you're an investor, an entrepreneur, or simply someone striving to live a purpose-driven life. Buckle in, because we're about to dive into the mindset of a legend and uncover how you can use his blueprint to create long-term success. Warren Buffett's oft-quoted first rule is deceptively simple. Rule no one, never lose money. Rule no two, never forget rule no one. What does this mean? On the surface, it refers to investment capital. Avoid mistakes that destroy your base. But deeper still, it's about preserving your ability to act, learn, and grow, whether financially, emotionally, or professionally. In business, this means ensuring that your core resources remain intact: your reputation, your relationships, your time, your mental health. For Buffett, preserving capital enabled him to remain in the game and to compound success over many decades. To apply this rule, you need to identify the irreversible losses in your context, establish safety buffers, and design your plans so that small mistakes don't become catastrophic. As you go through your career, ask, what could wipe me out? How do I limit downside? Because once you lose the base, building back becomes exponentially harder. One of Buffett's recurring themes is the notion of a circle of competence. He advises, don't invest in or commit yourself to what you don't understand. Not because you can't learn, but because the margin of error is higher when you operate outside your domain. In his investment career, Buffett avoided technology companies for years until he understood them. In life and business, this translates into focusing on what you do well, acknowledging what you don't, and either delegating or learning systematically. To apply this rule, start by mapping your strengths and domain knowledge. What fields, industries, or roles do you truly understand? What are you confident explaining? Then use that as the foundation for major decisions. Staying within your circle of competence reduces risk, increases conviction, and allows you to outperform those who constantly chase every opportunity. Buffett famously said, "It's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price." This principle emphasizes the importance of quality. In investing terms, it means acquiring businesses with durable competitive advantages, consistent earnings, strong management, and pricing that leaves room for upside. But beyond stocks, this can apply to your career choices, partnerships, or personal projects. Choose environments or people where excellence is embedded, even if the price, time, money, effort is higher. Quality provides superior returns over the long term. When you prioritize bargains over substance, you may end up with cheap and flimsy. So define quality metrics for your context, value them appropriately, and act when the opportunity aligns. In doing so, you set yourself up for sustainable success rather than quick wins. Buffett has repeatedly stated that his favorite holding period is forever. That means when he invests in a business, he's comfortable owning it indefinitely, provided its fundamentals remain strong. This long-term mindset keeps him from overreacting to short-term market noise and churn. In life, adopting a similar attitude means making choices that you can live with: long-term, career paths you won't regret, relationships you'll nurture years, goals with 10-20-year horizons. Time is the multiplier. The earlier and longer you hold on to good decisions, the greater the cumulative result. Resist the urge to switch strategies constantly. Recognize that success often comes from staying the course, not jumping from one idea to another. Apply this lesson. Identify decisions you can hold on to for decades, treat time as your friend, and let compounding build momentum behind you. Another of Buffett's bedrock rules is maintaining a margin of safety. By acquiring assets at prices well below their intrinsic value, he creates a buffer that protects against unforeseen events, mistakes, or adverse changes. In personal and professional life, a margin of safety can mean having emergency funds, avoiding overcommitting resources, keeping spare capacity, and planning for setbacks. It's the idea of building extra slack into your system so that when the unexpected hits, you don't collapse. Ask yourself, what if things go wrong? What assumptions might fail? Then design your decision so that failure doesn't lead to disaster. When you operate without margin, you're gambling. When you build in margin, you're practicing discipline and resilience. Buffett's investment approach is grounded in patience and discipline. He doesn't react to every market fluctuation. He waits until he sees value that meets his criteria. In business and life, discipline means sticking with your plan, resisting distractions, and avoiding shortcuts that compromise long-term gain. Patience means giving time for results, staying calm when progress appears slow, and trusting the process. To cultivate these traits, set clear criteria for decisions, create routines that enforce discipline, reading, reviewing, reflection, and practice delaying gratification. Because, as Buffett demonstrates, consistent actions over decades beat sporadic brilliance every time. One of the lesser applauded but deeply important rules from Buffett is avoiding excessive debt. He knows that when you borrow against your future, you reduce flexibility, increase risk of collapse, and limit opportunity. In his companies and investments, he emphasizes strong balance sheets, ample cash reserves, and avoiding obligations that can't be sustained in downturns. Translate this into life. Don't mortgage your future with unmanageable credit, over-leverage your time, or commit to responsibilities you can't sustain. Instead, build financial and operational freedom so that when opportunity knocks, you're ready. Debt isn't always evil, but when you use it without margin or clarity, you expose yourself to collapses of fortune and opportunity. Buffett often emphasizes that when he acquires a business, half the battle is getting the right people and culture. He famously invests in managers who are talented, honest, energetic, and owner-minded. Because even the best business fundamentals can falter if the people mismanage, lose heart, or compromise ethics. In your career or business, growth isn't just about systems or products, it's about people. Hiring wisely, building a culture of responsibility, and surrounding yourself with elites who lift you up rather than weigh you down are essential. Remember Buffett's advice. It's better to hang out with people who are better than you. Pick associates whose behavior is better than yours. You'll drift in that direction. Build your circle, align values, and create culture first. The rest will follow. Warren Buffett is often seen reading stacks of annual reports, books, and newspapers, reportedly spending up to 5 to 6 hours per day reading in his younger years. He acknowledges that the best investment you can make is in yourself. Knowledge compounds just like money. In every role, adopt a mindset of curiosity, habit of reading, and discipline of reflection. Set aside time each day for reading, review what you learn, discuss it, and apply it. Over time, your understanding deepens, your thinking sharpens, and your decisions improve. Buffett shows us that winners are learners first, and learning is a lifelong process, not only when you're studying, but as you navigate every phase of your career and life. Lastly, one of the most profound rules from Buffett is about integrity, reputation, and giving back. He once said that it takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. He has pledged the bulk of his wealth to philanthropy and believes that true wealth is how many people you want to have love you, do love you. In your success journey, don't neglect your values, your impact, or your legacy. Treat every decision as a reputation investment, act with honesty, build trust, and use your success to lift others. Because success without contribution is hollow. Warren Buffett's life shows that building wealth is not the end, how you use it matters more. Ask yourself, what will your reputation say? What difference will you leave behind? We've now walked through 10 of Warren Buffett's most powerful success rules, from protecting your base, staying within your competence, focusing on quality, holding for the long term, building margin of safety, exercising patience, avoiding excessive debt, prioritizing people and culture, learning relentlessly, and finally preserving integrity and giving back. These aren't just ideas for investors, they're principles for life. The question now is, how will you apply them? Start by picking one rule today. Write it down. What will you do this week? What will you change? What will you stop doing? Success, as Buffett shows, is built gradually through consistent good decisions, character, and time. The blueprint is clear. The door is open, your move.